Good evening, everybody. It's Shelley Johns here from Gympie. So I'm a Herbalife supervisor. I've been with the company 28 years, and yeah, I've lost 20 kilos, 3 dress sizes, 20 centimeters off my tummy, and I just absolutely love all the products, including the new Herbal Aloe Strengthening Shampoo and Conditioner. I've definitely noticed a difference with my hair in the last 2 weeks. Definitely less hair comes out when I'm drying it, and also the skin as well. And if you looked at the latest customer newsletter that just came out today, they're right on the ball this month. There's heaps about looking after your skin for winter and lots of other great resources. So I'd highly recommend looking at that customer newsletter. So we're going to get straight into the extravaganza feedback and training and update, because I know you all can't wait to see it all. So did you want to start?
We can start. So obviously,
who are you?
Who am I? I don't know. I don't know who I am. Hi, I'm Ross. I'm the other half. I've lost 15 kilos on this product, and I feel amazing. So we're going to talk about our experience that we went through and the trainings that we got from the extravaganza in Hong Kong. So let's go.
Yep.
So the information this time was about our difference inspires results. So that was sort of the theme about where we started off with on the day. You can talk to them. Okay. So luckily enough that we put some 90-day plans into process, and we got ourselves...
90-day plan.
Sorry, one 90-day plan into process. And we got ourselves qualified for the VIP experience. And as you can see, that's the barrier around where the president's team were. And we were sitting pretty well just there. That was our seat, that close to what we were actually able to experience at the time. Thank you. I just got VIP.
So you got your VIPs, and they scanned it, and you could go on a special door, and you got the special seating and the weird special gift, which is like some sort of poncho thing, quite interesting. So I'll put that on, take a photo of it another time. But yeah, it was good doing that, having that.
So yes, Miss Shelley was enjoying herself.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't know what I'm talking about. I was enjoying myself. So that was the president's team section, as we said, behind us, and the tables just went on and on and on and on. If you saw how many president's team were there, it was actually quite amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So that's sort of another shot of that sort of. So we were that close-ish to the stage, if you want to call that. That's us hanging over the barrier trying to take that photo. And there was a few people there. So there was 18,500 people at this training. And when you
14 countries.
14 countries, and when you think about it, to go to an extravaganza, you're a supervisor and above. So it's 8,500 supervisors at a training, which is amazing in itself.
Yeah.
Right? And we have a little video next that we're going to play that goes for about 7 minutes to give you an example of what we sort of experienced. Hopefully that won't crackle too much in the thing, so you can sort of semi-experience what the start of a Herbalife training can be all sort of about.
Take the things that you've been learning from this week and put it into action. You've got to build a business one customer at a time. You can become someone involved. What kind of future do I see for myself? Keep improving yourself. Leadership is one of the to lead, to prosper, to build, to inspire, to motivate, to support what's going on. Our product is simply a shop. Our product is the company of motivation is better. The company of community is better. Our product comes to you. It gives you results and makes you feel better. The company can help. This is the core of our product. We truly want to make a difference. And trust me, you're with a company that's going to make a difference. And it's just getting started.
So that was basically how it sort of started off, and there was people flowing in at that point. So that gives you an understanding of.
Did that give you goosebumps? Gave me goosebumps. So I definitely felt the emotion and the energy in the room. So
yeah. So the rest of what slides we got tonight are pretty well on some of the bits and pieces we got out of the training. The training was a lot of this is sort of a little bit about the business componentries of it and the bits and pieces. Because realistically, an extravaganza is, like we said, is for supervisors. It's designed, obviously, what we're talking about at the moment. It's all about building your business, learning how to grow to move forward, and that sort of thing. So some of, like, if you look at the highlights there, the highest volume point year in the company history. It's up 10% on volume points for 2018. So that's amazing when you look at where we're heading out that direction. So they're global metrics. If you want to have a look at them quickly, obviously this has come out and go from there to where we're heading as a company. Remember, this is not sales. This is volume points, supervisor activity and retention. And then obviously that's your Asia Pacific, excluding India. So if you look at the area that we're in, our volume points in our area alone is 0.9 of a billion volume points, which is fantastic in itself. And like, if you look at 2018, the world had a supervisor retention rate of 68%, and in our area alone, we basically similarly matched that at 66%. So it's fantastic that we're retaining all that amount of supervisors. You know, the world had 241,000 new supervisors, and Asia Pacific had 33,000 on their own, which is fantastic. So if you look at the difference there, you look at where we're heading as a company, from 2017 to 2018, you know, new world team of 32,000, new get team of 3,000, new get team 1,000, new mill team 700, new mill plus 22, 187 new presidents team in 2018. It is just amazing when the recognition come across the stage, and there is just people after people after people, and the amount of new presidents, especially out of the new countries that is coming off. It just shows that we are in the right company and we're doing the right thing, and we're definitely building and growing and moving forward. So that's obviously the world, and then obviously the APAC scenario from there as well. So
this was from Isabel and Jonathan,
Yep.
The guest speakers from Puerto Rico. So they had obviously become Chairman's Club members. So this was some of their 10 steps to building an organisation.
Yep.
You talk faster.
Do I? Okay, do you want me to slow down? So one of the things that they really pushed on was you need to be an example for new business. You have to be the example, and we'll show you the slides right towards the end, where they basically got themselves all the way to president's team, and then they went, hang on a minute, we really need to get a new result. And then you see the difference from where they were, that's that, to the new result, as that's where they're coming from. We have to be the example of new business. We're always should be looking for a new result for us, what we can do, and then go from there. Create your first lines and definitely build them up, and understand how much they really desire to advance. Not what we want, and this is sometimes I admit at times as well, it's not always what we want or I want. What do they really want? But what is their true desire to move forward and to advance, and understanding that scenario?
So do they actually want to advance?
Yep.
And if they do want to advance, where do they want to advance to?
And then at what pace do they want to advance to? We don't always recognise that enough at times. And then create a plan that will support your organisation. So create some sort of plan to help them grow and move forward. Like, you know, you do the 90-day plans with them, all those sort of processes, you know, and go from there. Make an agenda that they're a part of, right? So it's getting people involved and making an agenda of how you're growing a business. And now look, I'll admit, at the extravaganza, it was very much nutrition club based, and that's why they had their agendas in that process. But everything they did, we can still take parts away from and use in our own day-to-day business. Is exactly the same thing.
You could do the same thing working from home, or going to a park or people's homes, or having a centre. It's actually the same thing. Utilising it more effectively.
They were very big on understanding new trends. We at times we definitely got to use our basics, because it's basically use where talk. It's what our business is about. But also then learning to understand the new trends that are out there, working within those new trends. They do very much, they call it chat groups. So we would call it, I suppose, we would say in our messenger groups, doing group chats. That's sort of how they talked a lot. But whether that trend works with your own customer clientele and that sort of stuff in there.
And the other thing too, as new trends, was some of the recipes, like the Herbie donuts and waffles and things like that, and they had these kind of different recipes at their nutrition club, and you could do the same thing if you're doing a masterclass, for example, and it was actually appealing to the whole family. So not only were the mum and the dad coming in for things, but the kids would come in and enjoy like the Herbie donuts and waffles. So it was appealing to the whole family. So they wouldn't just get one person in the family; they'd get the whole 4 or 5 all coming in, basically.
And teaching about the importance of customers and customer retention. They were very big because of this situation, and we've seen the same with us when we do our Thursday morning. Sometimes we don't need to do training. Our own customers are training our own customers because of their commitment or their connection to a product and how well they enjoy it. We watched that the other day with Helen. We were all talking, and Helen just started talking. She's a member. But it was great that she was reinforcing how she felt to the other customers that were in the room when we're signing up a new lady and all that sort of stuff. So it's important to have that sort of around that area.
And they said the reason why having a group of customers all together, and the customer ends up talking and almost training and inspiring people to upgrade and get started, because they have no vested interest. They're just doing it right from the heart. And it's actually very powerful that your customers end up training and upgrading your members are having that kind of situation with a lot of people in together, like that community. I'm sure Rosemary's found that with the weight loss challenges, lots of people in together talking about products, and that actually has a very positive impact. So the power, your customers are very powerful.
And then structured based on your member activities.
So yes, and that's something where really we were sat down actually on the Monday, didn't we, and worked out some of the things we could add in. Do we have enough Herbalife opportunity meetings? What sort of activities could be put into that whole week so we're utilising the centre more effectively? So we've made a few little adjustments. We didn't swing the pendulum too far. We've just kind of blended in and blended out some things, and then we'll obviously trial it and make sure it runs properly. And then everyone gets access to all those activities. They just plug into it, basically.
And organised multiple activities with the varied tools for each month. So whether you're talking about weight loss challenges, online challenges, whatever it may be, because at the end of the day, what they were saying, you are running a business, start to think of it like you're running a business. Really think about, and this is what Jonathan basically implied, they really looked at that they were running a business and what could they do, how could they create things to make their tools for their business operate effectively, right? And then share your projections and then repeat the process.
And it was quite interesting how we talked about how him and Isabella work together, and you can do this as one person operating a business, or as if there is in a couple situation, that you look at where your strengths are and that you can play to those strengths. So obviously she was very good with the clients and quite good at interacting and following up and doing all of that in the customer care side, and he was more the business side and finding those people that wanted to do the business, and helping drive them forward at their pace as well. So, but you can also do that yourself. So I'm thinking, Lindy, just in case you're going on, you can do both of these things too, because I've had to do that before, and so as many people on the call that you find a system so that you can do both. You're both people, okay? I thought that was very interesting how he talked about that as well. At that projection, sorry, just to go back to number 10, sharing your projection. So obviously the 90-day plan things, we've just finished our first 90-day plan. I don't think we did it quite properly. We could have done it much better, but considering the first, so March, April, May, because I'm looking at the projections in front of us here. So 5,019, 5,256, 5,303. So is that right? Is that our first 90-day plan, or was June our 90-day plan?
Well, we started in March, if you want to call it the end of March.
End of March, okay. So we'd already done
You can't tell them, Jen. You can't tell them, Jen.
I want to.
You can't tell them, Jen. You can't tell them, Jen.
So anyway, okay, so April was 5,256, March was 3,003, and I was a little bit worried, everyone knows, I was a bit worried going to the extravaganza, that was a whole week out of our activity, and I was like, oh, what, are we going to get this month happening? So we just finished off, well, tonight, I haven't checked.
I have. By the way, you are still in the month of June if you choose to. You are in a dual month as of 11:30 tonight in Adelaide time, or in Queensland time to Adelaide, and you may go and tell them.
Last day of the month for June volume is today, but you can also do July volume. So 6,031 at 0.45 volume points. So I was pretty excited about that, with a really high downline volume. Like, it was great, really healthy looking. And I know we've still got a bit of work to do, but I'm excited about that, and I want to build on that. And of course, you've got to start, building and getting new people continually to do that. So the momentum's there, and we went and did some walk and talk today for the event. So I think it's just keeping that activity and consistent. And I really don't feel we worked that hard. I really think we worked a lot harder personally. So just imagine when you do your 90-day plans, because I'm looking at Lindy here because I know she's been really putting her be patient and be persistent, and just keep adding and doing it as much as you can each day. I promise you, if you just keep doing that, the momentum will build, okay?
Can I say the other thing with them too was when Jonathan and Isabella were talking on stage, particularly when they were talking about their clubs, and you were talking before about, the donuts and different things like that. And they're also saying, making sure that you got to make it a profitable business too. So you're not putting all these ingredients and then you can't counteract what you put in. You don't want to go at as a loss either. So that was good. And yes, I am implementing. Thank you. Because I've got to tell my upline what I'm doing, you see. So thank you.
Yes, and I think you're right. The recipes were very cost effective and making sure the products were the star of the show. And I did like that. I actually wrote down those recipes. It was very simple recipes, things, ingredients that anyone could have, but not making it all about the other ingredients, making it about the products. So I did, and so product consumption. Because just so you know, in Asia with the nutrition clubs, they were based on things like each client was 2 volume points. So imagine, you know, in Australia we're pretty lucky. You know, we've got clients that order a lot more than that when you look at your averages of what your clients are spending and what volume points that equals. So they're doing on 2. So they've got a lot of people doing a little bit, and obviously that customer service and that community really does help. So it really made me appreciate what we have here and to be more. I think I've been more on the ball with my follow-up and doing those little things that can make a big difference. So, sorry, go on.
Okay. So, so over the last 3 decades in business, so we've got 7.7 billion suggested retail sales in 2018.
That's pretty exciting, and I think this slide corporate's going to make available so we can add it into our presentations and things like that as well.
So also, always learn from Mark Hughes and Jim Rohn. So be grateful every day on Herbalife. Remember where you came from, and that was very much, we got to remember that, where we've come from, and be humble in that situation. Never give up, the 4 seasons of life. Priority in life, spiritual, family or business, whatever they are. Work on yourself first and the money comes. And it's very obvious that's the case. Personal development is personal development.
But so easy not to do. Like,
yes.
So many people we work with, and only 4% of the population do it. So imagine if more people just did that, worked on themselves first, how much easier it would be then to do everything else. The products would work better. You would use it, be more consistent. You'd believe in yourself more. You know, you would attract different types of people. So working on yourself triggers off all those other things, but it's the thing that sometimes we leave till last. So why do we leave ourselves to last? We should be putting ourselves first, because we can actually help more people and be more effective. So that's what I think.
Yeah, and like I've said to a few of our people recently, the tortoise and the hare story is really the truth. The tortoise just keeps, whether he's plodding along or not, he's the one that ends up across that finish line, and the hare is still sitting in the tree having a good time because he's gone flat out and then had a rest.
Didn't you say you actually saw an actual video?
I actually saw a video, somebody, I don't know where I watched that, and the rabbit went shooting out of the gate and then stopped in the middle and that ate on something, and the tortoise just plodded along and they actually had it in the stadium watching it. I just thought, it is so true.
Like a real tortoise.
A real tortoise and a real hare. They did that. It is what this business is. Just keep going. Just keep doing what you're doing. It will come.
And I can vouch for that, because I was very interested, because the Lifetime Achievers came up, and I know there's a few like Irene and Con and Jan, that, you know, I thought, I wonder how much, you know, I've been in the company a while, I wonder how much volume I've done. So I got home and I got up my whole history and I've typed it. So it's like 795,000 blah 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 volume points in the 28 years. It's like, okay, I've got 205,000 to go, and I want to do it before my 30th year to get my lifetime.
So we then calculated out from a business point of view, what sort of business do we need to do on a monthly basis now to achieve that in time?
So I thought it was really interesting. It just made me think, I wonder how close I might be, you know, because I actually had no idea. So anyway, I've got a little bit of work to do, but it's another goal to aim for, isn't it?
And obviously, the more you give out, the more you receive back. And that's a definite.
And it's not just obviously financially, it's your time, it's your knowledge, it's support, it's all that giving. And I think, Herbalife people are very much like that.
Where I suppose I look at that at the moment, where I've noticed we've changed in the last 90 days, initially, I probably don't believe we gave enough time to our clients when we first sit down someone, do an evaluation, whatever. We're now looking at, and if people could say it's too long, we give ourselves at least an hour with somebody brand new. We spend as much time as we can, form them as much as we can, get to understand as much as they can, and that is rippling back tenfold over, because we really know we've given the time for that first individual person to find out. Now, they may not be the right person when we first talk to them, absolutely agree with that. But at least in that time, if they are the right person, we're not trying to rush away. We're giving them the time. Now, if they don't have the time, that's fine, but we're giving the time. We're prepared to give that full hour in when we first get involved with somebody, and it is definitely rippling back.
Well, we got a call while we were in Hong Kong.
We did.
On the second last day, I think,
Yep.
some retail inquiries. So I took the call with Kelly, and I could tell she had, you know, an Asian background, so she's Chinese. And so confirmed with her, she came on Thursday, last Thursday. So that's 2 days after we got back. And she came in on our Thursday morning group, so it's quite hustly and bustly. So you put me off to the side to talk. So I sat and talked with Kelly, gave her some samples, went through the program, did a body scan and evaluation. So she ended up having a quick start program with 2 Formula Ones. So yes, she started. I've done her day 4 now. She came to the club the next day and brought her family, her husband and her son Arthur, and her father-in-law, who's come over from China, who's a professional photographer. And it was good. I got to know them a bit better, so that relationship's already built. So she's coming in on Thursday for her day 7 results. So yeah, I'm really excited that all happened as well while we were away, and I just, you know, took advantage of just doing stuff and not going, oh, we're overseas, I shouldn't do the course. Like, let's just do it, book her in, and spend that time with her as well. It's really made a difference.
Absolutely. So 30-30. You may not understand what 30-30 is. So the company has a projection by the year 2030, 30 billion. That's the projection. So we're at 7.7. So by the year 2030, 30 billion. So we all need to get to work.
Yeah. There'll be a lot more presence team members and a lot more people, obviously the leadership coming through. So it means that at least half the people on this call are going to be presence team by then, at least.
That's right. Yep.
So, you know, if not all of us, to achieve that goal and having it. And you know what, people need it. Like where people need this type of nutrition.
Absolutely.
And actually it was very apparent going to that extravaganza on how little access people in a lot of those Asian countries had. They didn't have access to good nutrition, and they're crying out for it. So, you know, it's happening everywhere. So we're going to need, you know, we need to be able to help more people. I know Herbalife's really working on that supply and demand and making sure that they can supply more people with this type of nutrition.
So just another slide. Be the one team, accept change, and lead by example. Couple of other slides there, like personal development, your vision, just little bits and pieces that come up just to give you an understanding of, you know, just building your team and keeping, getting and keeping and developing customers. And
I think it's a good visual to have even somewhere to make sure you're focusing on the things that will really make a difference in your business. You know, your productivity, and if you focus on all these things, like your vision and purpose, and that gives you confidence anyway, and your own product result, being the brand, getting and keeping and developing customers. So getting them is great, but keeping them, recruiting and developing your team, or your distributors, but then building that team and also working on yourself. I think all those things are all pieces in the puzzle that create success.
so obesity, as of 2016, 1.9 billion people are overweight. And of these, more than 650 million are obese. So in the Asia Pacific, 2 of every 5 adults are either overweight or obese.
And you know what, it's not even like 20 kilos, 30 kilos, 50 kilos. Sometimes for some people, it's just that 2 or 3 kilos that they want to shift. And we know the most popular and common goal is 5 to 15 kilos. And those people actually get a fairly quick result, and they're more quickly to give you referrals. So this time of the year, people wanting to, you know, summer bodies are made in winter kind of theme, and your challenges, you know, definitely, you know, attract as many of those people. Yes, everyone's welcome, but you know, those people that got that 5 to 15 kilos are probably going to get a more obvious result. More people will notice quicker, and you're going to get lots more referrals faster as well.
And it was obviously.
Did you take a picture of this? Sorry, did you take a picture of the slide that had from Malaysia being the largest size? You know, the one that went through all the different countries. Did you? Because if not, I think I've got that one somewhere.
I think I have that. Can you upload it onto Challenge Yourself, Dale?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So part of this is obviously because, like the rest of the world, in some of these countries now, the fast food outlets are taking footholds and bits and pieces, and the people are finding it's quicker and easier in some of their cases to go and buy some fast food, which is creating some of these issues that they would, in their normal daily consumptions, wouldn't have actually been there. So it's one thing that we obviously all have to battle, is the fast food outlets out there and showing people the benefit of what we're trying to do with. So what do we do with members? So we need a platform that will help you create a training support for your members and not. So you need 2 days of training and 1 to 2 HOMs a week. So you think about 2 days of training, it's your kickoff, we call it a let's go. It's your STS, is your 2 days of training. And then you need to be able to plug people into 1 or 2 HOMs a week. And look, luckily at the moment, here in Queensland, we actually have an online HOM on a Thursday evening. So straight away, you have the ability to plug someone immediately into that. And that also, sorry, I shouldn't just say Queensland, that I believe that HOM is available Australia-wide.
Yeah.
Every Thursday evening at 7:30. So at least, you know, if you can't create a HOM, you can't get people to a HOM, at least they can get onto that HOM. It only goes for, I think last week's went for about 19 minutes or something like that. So it's not like it goes for, you know, any length of time, sometimes of what we're doing here on a training call. So,
and you can find the details for that on the Queensland Herbalife community or something. So they've changed the name.
Team Herbalife Queensland Community.
Which is the old Queensland STS and other events.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So if you're already on the group, you'll be on there, and
Yep.
you'll be able to find that link and utilise it as well. So use what's already going,
Yep.
and then if you don't have anything local, then you create it.
So just want to show some of these slides, and if you actually, in your current weekly supplement, or the last weekly supplement came out,
On email.
on email, yes. So if you're not on email, you do need to be on email. There is a massive amount of documentation that was available to download, and every one of these slides is in that.
So, and it's what Dr. Luigi Grattan used, and also what Dr. Dana Ryan used at the Spectacular.
Yep.
It's that presentation, which is very effective product training.
Yeah, it's a very effective product training. It builds your confidence in the process, in the product, what's in the product. And look, the amount of information that I downloaded this week that was just at my fingertips, just from the weekly supplement, is amazing.
Really professional, very confidence building for your, really just a great training to do. I think.
And in all honesty, if you can't put it into a PowerPoint, which I understand it is difficult to create PDFs to PowerPoint unless you've got the right program, create yourself a flipbook. There's your HOM flipbook. You know what I mean? So you know, these are the same sort of slides, showing you that we have 12 dedicated science experts, hundreds of botanical ingredients reviewed. So this is from Dr. Luigi Grattan's training, which is really just straight out of that process.
I mean, he added his little bits and pieces as well, which was great to have that.
But even this slide itself here is in that booklet. It's called the Herbalife Nutrition Optimizing for Your Nutrition Through Cellular Science. So when you look at your weekly supplement, when you click through and it clicks you through to our own webpage, click on the cellular science thing, and this is what's in there. And what was really good and what he brought up, and look, we could read this but not pick it up, is where he said, we have a score of 1 where protein is complete. And what he was trying to emphasize here is, yes, other people have shakes. Yes, other people have proteins in their product, but they don't have a complete protein with a score of 1. And that's important for us to have the confidence, and that's where that was coming from. Where the green tea is concerned, it's water extracted, which makes for a cleaner ingredient product. That is not always stated. The aloe vera, you know, like our company, other companies do not take the extra step to remove the aloe, and you can explain why.
So Dr. Luigi was saying that if the aloe stays present in the product, it's used for regularity. So if people are having too much aloe each day, it's actually laxative, and that shouldn't be had every day. So if you know someone's having an aloe vera product with aloe still in it, it's actually not good for them to having on a daily basis. So that's why the aloe is removed, because it's a better product for your health.
And like Lindy just messaged through on the message then and said, it's cellular science, not cellular nutrition.
Yeah.
It's about the science of operating those products and that. So all this again is in that, but I just flicked it up, and when I found it, I went, the training is just unbelievable in the booklet, and what you can take your time, read through, and build your own confidence, and that's what it's about. Good.
Right.
Okay. So uncomprising testing. Why do we need optimal nutrition? Because we have excess of sugar, salt, alcohol, tobacco, fats, chemicals, and we have deficiencies of protein, vegetable protein, mineral, vitamins, minerals, and all sorts of stuff.
And I do like this slide because we've seen things like this over the years from the doctors, like Dr. Jamie McManus, and saying we've got too much of the things we don't need and not enough of the things that our body actually needs. So I like this because that actually really highlights that in a very quick visual.
Yep. Same again, examples of imbalanced meals as we all know.
Yep.
Right. Again, our global philosophy, the 40%, our carbohydrates, your proteins, your fats, and all that. Again, that's all actually in that booklet that's there.
Because people are so visual too, so to have things that are just quite visually and people can pick out things, I think that's what most people want. They don't want to be reading pages and pages of information. They just want nice, simple things.
Like, your Formula 1 shake has a fibre of 1 small apple, protein of 3 large eggs, vitamin C of 2 small peaches, calcium as 1.5 cups of cottage cheese. So, it's good to be able to have that confidence to be able to talk to people about that sort of thing when we're talking to people about our product. And hydration. I know the photo's a bit skewed, and I might have been standing a little bit sideways when I was taking some of these shots. Want to go through that?
So,
it's a little bit blurry. I'm sorry about
so
that.
happy and long-term creating happy and long-term customers, and which there's so many people on this call are great at doing this. So giving them recognition, customer recognition, active member recognition, daily habits, loyalty prizes, having a customer day. They were really big on having a customer day, which I love that idea, getting all their customers together and doing something and celebrating the results and doing prizes and recognition. Education and communication, so having healthy breakfast education, teaching the importance of a healthy breakfast, because there was a stat there on how many.
We'll get into that.
Oh, okay, great. I won't go into that. Customer groups, so we have a lot of that sort of stuff. Facebook, wellness evaluations. That's all about having that customer groups coming in together. Lots of testimonies and results. We're really strong on that, and the community wants to be happy and healthy. And the engagement, so having the community, a group of people giving back and just being happy, basically, and being that leading by example.
So your flow, we all follow this process: how to create an invitation, do wellness evaluations, 2 to 3 people a day, find new customers, invite your customers to your weight loss challenges and so forth, customer experiences, the best follow-up and possible results, create those referrals. Customer then becomes a member.
But here, but also to see open referrals, so that customer being a multi-level customer. So yes, they're on other products, but they're also giving you referrals before they become a member. So they're really already in that habit of going through their centre of influence, like you're teaching them right at the start.
So you need trainings, SDS member training. We do need trainings. Focus groups. Then the big events, your spectacular extravaganza. And you have to experience an extravaganza just to experience what goes on.
So they're saying that once a supervisor goes to an extravaganza or a spectacular, that big event, then they become an active supervisor because they're doing the 2,500. And from that, because all they've got to teach is their supervisors how to do their 2.5 consistently, and that's where that active world team comes from.
So this is from Jonathan. So what he basically said, he made the decision to dedicate my first year to hard work in order to prepare for my later years. Now, whether it's a year, whether it's 2, whether it's 3, it doesn't matter what, you make that own dedication, but be dedicated to what you want to do in hard work, get down, get involved, do the 90-day plans so you can build for later on in your life.
Yeah, and it's not technically, unless you're doing flyers in a hilly area like Gympie.
Or it's -4 degrees.
It's not physically hard work, Herbalife, it's mentally hard. So because we've got to be consistent and disciplined and positive and have a good attitude, so all those sort of things. So, you need to put that sort of hard work in, that mental hard work and discipline in. And it's, we all know it takes time to establish momentum in our business. So that's the hardest part, is establishing that momentum. And so if you're inconsistent, guess what you're always doing? You're always in establishing momentum mode, and it's not fun, is it? But once you develop your momentum and you can keep it going, okay, you're establishing it, and then you're keeping it perpetuating by being consistent, and don't take your foot off the pedal. You don't have to work that hard for the rest of your life. You just need those first, 1 to 3 years, depending on how many hours you're doing a week, to set yourself up forever. That's what you need to be doing. So, and
I did think of you too, because you were talking about walking up and down the hills and how hard it was. So I thought, if it's cold, well, I just have to get out there, and that's going to make me warm up. But and then the giving back. Well, I gave back with a comedic view today, because I was walking and then it's icy, so I'm a bit like this. So I saw some people give. And so that was my giving back when I did flyers today, entertaining the community. It's so cold.
So yes, and I know from experience about having to start again and having to then build up momentum again. So just so you know, I know what it's like, and I would definitely recommend that you put the work in now and just get it all set up, and so that it'll continually perpetuate. Just like
it's like this. It's choices. I suppose you see that sort of slide. We're setting the training. We're working, but we don't think we're working hard enough at the moment. So we had a full free day on the Monday, the 24th, which was my birthday. And Shelley gave me the choice. What do you want to do? Do you want to have a free day? And I went, yeah, I want to have a free day. Yes, we're booking the room in the hotel for the rest of the day, because we should have booked out at 12 o'clock. And we're going to sit in the room and just go through the notes, prepare our business to get on the flight to come home. I didn't want to spend the day traipsing around somewhere. I wanted to get ourselves ready to come back, because I understand that when you do go away, you can lose that sense of momentum. That rock can slowly push back at you. So we're pushing very hard at the moment to build and show our team and build forward as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, I think we could be doing harder.
We probably could.
But we did swim beforehand.
We did swim before.
Yes, right.
All right. So.
Exciting! This is exciting.
So there's a little few products to come. Supposedly, we can't confirm when.
Australia is ASNZ, just so you know.
If you look at the slide, you'll pick that up. ASS. So somewhere we're looking to possibly get a high protein iced coffee. At some point, we're getting another aloe grape coming. So that's all those slides, whatever else. But they were just putting up this. They're launching products within the area and what is to come, and that sort of stuff from there.
Yeah, and I did bump into the new regional manager, Peter. Yep. Sorry, what's his name? Peter Hurley. I've got his card. So it was good. We had a bit of a chat. So he said that the reason why the high protein iced coffee hasn't come into Australia yet is because they can't keep up with the demand. So they want to fix that first before it comes in, so there's no gaps or running out or anything like that. And also they're not opening any new countries until they
control the supply.
Yeah, the supply and demand for all the existing countries. So I thought that was very smart and good. But if you have people in your team in these other countries, this is kind of exciting. And yes, we realise sometimes it takes time for these things to come through. But he did assure me that they wouldn't put this up if it wasn't,
available
in the pipeline. Yeah.
So just increased support for existing products. A lot of the conversation was also about a little bit what, if you may or may not seen the video from Rob and Christy Walsh, it's about the consumer spending. Yeah. So it's the same sort of principle about we are running businesses. You are trying to build product. So we're really looking at what are you doing within your own processes? How do you increase a product? How do you add on a product, whether it's skin, whether it's other things? How do you try and increase that volume point? Because at the end of the day, you are running a business and trying to help your team below you run a business and get their volume to their qualification points. And I know that what we've done is I'll use the products within, say, the Quick Start, the Advanced, or the Ultimate program. We've increased our volume in every one of those products by 23.95 because we now show those pictures with 2 F1s. So straight away, when we talk to a client about a Quick Start program or even a Shape Up program, it shows a picture automatically with 2 F1s.
And I did that with Kelly on last Thursday.
So we're not talking just to F1. We're saying to that customer straight up, look, you're probably going to need this for the entire month. That way we know they can take the maximum potentially, or 2 scoops at least for 2 times a day of their F1. Straight away, every program that goes out is another 23.95 volume points.
Yeah, because we know that one Formula 1 tin is only going to last 2 weeks. So could they come back and get the next one? Sure.
Absolutely could.
But I find that more people are actually taking the second
straight away
to give them 2 different flavours and making sure they've got the whole month's worth. And I think that's been actually quite effective for better results and a stronger business, teaching them what to do if they decide to do the business. I think it's just that small shift has made a really big difference.
Yeah, so just, you've got to look at your own, everybody's got to look at their own process, their own businesses, or how you already do it. And I'm not telling you that's what we found to help shift that little bit of a volume point. And if you think about it, if it's 23.9 volume points and you did that with 10 customers, there's 230. And you've really not done a lot except start that process. And then you start that, your team follows the same thing.
And I did think the healthy aging campaign is great, because I know we all love this. And I think Australia is very good at being strong on the targeted nutrition.
Absolutely.
I think we love targeted nutrition and we're really big on it. And I think we find it very easy to upgrade our clients into adding just that one extra product in at a time.
Absolutely. So where that comes from is, and I suppose we're talking about nutrition clubs again, they're virtually saying in the Asia Pacific, and I understand we're talking mostly the Asian countries, not so much Australia, 9 out of 10 people that consume the product are buying just a Formula 1.
That'd be a lot to do with the nutrition clubs, obviously, and that demographic and their income structure. So if maybe a Formula 1's all they can afford, and they go into a nutrition club, try a shake, then upgrade.
So only 6 out of 10 buy a Formula 1 and a tea, and then we're down to 4 out of 10 only buy a Formula 1, a tea, and an aloe. So all we did is move the 4 out of 10 up to 6 out of 10, and we're talking about 30/30. That's volume points of 82 million by just increasing the clientele from a 4 out of 10 that take the tea and aloe only up to a 6 out of 10.
So if you're thinking your organisation, so for example, Irene and Con and Jan, especially, they've got really big organisations. Imagine just having them add the shampoo and conditioner into their product use, what impact that would make into your business, your royalty and bonus, basically, just by upgrading people. So yes, that video with Rob and Christy was all about the consumer spending shift and showing people how to buy from their own store or just upgrade onto, that extra product. And the best way to do it is to use it yourself.
Look, and I understand from a lot of us, we probably use everything. But that doesn't mean every one of our clientele uses everything. So we've got to find out, what are they not using? How can we help them get the best possible result, and then go from there? And I suppose that's what we looked at when we were looking for the 2 Formula 1s, and we really probably pushed the selling nutrition, so Formula 1 and a Formula 2. But by having 2 Formula 1s, we know they're going to get a month's worth of product for whatever reason. It's just looking at that all the time. And I suppose from my point of view, I always look at our retail sales, and I'm looking at our retail clientele to start with. And I know at the beginning of the process, in our 90-day plan, our average volume was a certain volume, and it was about 40 volume was an average when you worked it through. It wasn't a great deal. It was probably a Formula 1 and a Formula 2. I know that average is now up to about 70, and I'm still looking at how do we continue that average to build, because I know if we create that, they follow us, the process duplication follows on.
That's a lot of strength too.
So obviously there's the programs. Start earlier, age healthier, act now.
I love
obviously
that.
The targeted range, which is fantastic, which we all pretty well do heavily a lot at the moment. Yes. Just a different flow, just a different version of a different flow. Right? Okay. Creating profitable supervisors and higher supervisor retention rate, because this is what it's about. It's like Lindy said earlier, and Shelley said as well, we want our customers in those areas to be able to be profitable. Now, again, they were talking nutrition members, sorry. They were talking about nutrition clubs a lot, where people are going to a nutrition club, but they may not make any money. They're putting all these extra ingredients. So we do need to make sure our members know how to become profitable, create new members, create the retention, and build a business.
Well, the supervisors in profit, they're more likely to stay around. So
Absolutely.
that creates the retention rate, and really knowing the reason why, what they want, like really knowing what they want and knowing those reasons so you can remind them, agreeing on the same purpose, so you got that agreement between you and your client, and focusing not on selling products, but helping them get results. And we're all very big on this, and Australia is great on this, is the results, and that's supporting and encouraging, and the confidence as well. So, and it's, you know, you're looking at a long-term person in your space, and that's what you want. You want someone who's going to be around years and years later, and we've all got those people, and we've just got to duplicate that.
Absolutely. So building a customer member to active supervisor cycle, just different ways again of these are of different people, the speakers that came up.
I think it was real, that customer flow. They kept talking about what is your customer flow. You need to have something that you can focus on. That was definitely a big theme through the whole thing. A lot of them from all the different countries that were speaking were talking about having this flows that you could follow through. So, you know, what is your customer flow and cycle that you can create so that you can take people through? And I know we've got one that they use for Australia, but maybe you need to do one that more feels like you. So it's got all your things that you're using so that you can take your whole team and clients through that.
So, Jonathan and Isabella, who are your Chairman's Club?
Yep.
Right. They were the speakers on and off of the main speakers for the time. And as they said on these results here, they were already at president team level when they realised that, hang on a minute, we're probably not the best examples of what a Herbalife member possibly should look like. And then they re-looked at themselves and said, we need our own checkup. So at any point you can go, hang on a minute, how do I improve my result? How do I get the best result for myself personally?
Yeah, so they said they were going to the present team vacations and things and realising that, wow, look at all these people that are really, you know, serious about their product results. So they decided to get a brand new product result, and that really perpetuated them to Chairman's Club.
Yep.
And then they're really, you know, setting that example. So what it means is it doesn't matter how long you've been in the company, where you are, what level you are in the company, that you can always do a brand new product result. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep.
Yep.
Customer flow.
Yeah, so the customer flow things and all those, knowing your procedure and your process, because if you have a process, you can teach that process. So I love that there was a lot of examples of these, evaluate and work with their goals. So it always comes back to what they want, get them into the community, acknowledgement and recognition, a weight loss challenge. That was really big on their weight loss challenge. And there was a whole range of different ones, the referrals, and then different promotions for your customers as well. So they had different gifts and things like that. So I think we already do a lot of that. So just being reminded that we all have a process, and that all we've got to do is actually teach our people our process. So have a process, teach the process.
Also remember, with your promos for customers, if you're doing it yourself, it's got to be done so it's not costing you money. You've got to do that within your own structure of your own business. You must do that. Because otherwise you show to your own supervisors underneath, hang on a minute, how do I afford to do that? It's got to be done within your own.
It's got to be duplicatable.
And within your own process.
Yeah. Training the customer on understanding the benefits. So that's why we have product trainings and different things like that. So I love our Let's Go events, which is like our local kickoff, because especially having Irene and Khan and Jennifer and lots of people come into the centre that have all this great experience, is really training and supporting our clients to be really strong on the products and have confidence in the product, inviting them always to whatever activity you've got. And like I said, if you don't have one, create one. Even if it starts with 2 people, just keep doing it. Involve them on your different pages and groups that you have, and then they become a new member, and then you have that process for members.
And in your 90-day plan, you need to learn to measure business results and know your answers. So it's about business. You need to know where you're structured, what are you doing, measure your own levels of measurement, whatever they may be. You know, if I've gone out and done 1 flyer and I've got no customers, well, maybe I've got to do more than 1. If I've done 100 and that flyer's not working, you've got to reevaluate, is that the flyer? Or maybe I just haven't given it enough time. Whatever it may be, you have to find ways to measure what you're doing. And if it worked really well last month, do it again. and keep working on and keep evaluating your business, because it is a business at the end of the day.
And we're so lucky we have BizWorks. BizWorks gives us a lot of information that you can use to gauge your business. So if you haven't got BizWorks, I definitely recommend it. It's only like $10 or $11 a month or something. It's great value, and it's an investment in your business to keep it organized and see what's going on, see where people are up to, and it really is designed to help you. There's so much on there that I probably don't even use properly yet,
No.
but I find it really, really handy. So make sure that you really use BizWorks, and maybe think about starting your own 90-day plan for this next 3 months.
And at the other end of the day is, don't overcomplicate that part of it. All you've just got to look at is, what am I doing? Where's my volume at? How do I improve it? And then go from there. And then we're aiming for that president's team pin. That's what we want. With 5 of them in our organisation, or 10 of them in our organisation would even be better. But we'll start off with our own to start with, and then we'll go from there.
And everyone else.
I took a picture of it, and then I've actually got it as a backdrop on my laptop and on my phone.
Yeah, the recognition was amazing, and
Wasn't it?
yeah, it was pretty good. I can see all of us being on the president's team. It means that we're helping more people in Australia. We're all leaders, and we're affecting even more people all around the world.
Also, in your weekly supplement, there's, I know you can't fully see that probably, there's a whole heap of how to requalify to supervisor, process charts, tracking charts. It's all within the last lot of weekly supplements that have come out. Yes, you may have to dig through the weekly supplement if you're not used to the new format, but the tools are all there. How all the volume, all the qualifications, everything at the moment is actually at all our own fingertips, and it's being given to us every week.
Yeah.
So you need to take the time, find some time within your day when a weekly supplement comes out, when you're not out doing walk and talks, maybe it's late of an evening or something, and click through and look what's there, and then make the decision whether you want to print it or you don't. It's up to you. But everything's in there. The 3 methods available to requalify, everything was in there in the last 2 lots of weekly supplements. Is unbelievable what is there. What is at our fingertips at the moment. So, Saturday.
Yep, this Saturday is our Let's Go July. So this is our local kickoff event. So it's this Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. Everyone's welcome. It's all about winter skincare and healthcare. So learning how to look after your skin, staying hydrated, lots of great tips, samples, handouts. So it's going to be really great. And like I said, it aligns perfectly with the July newsletter. We're going to show people how they can be part of the skincare and personal care industry. So it's a great way to attract maybe someone that you thought maybe wouldn't be interested in nutrition or whatever, to look at it in a different way.
I like the quote.
That's right. I love that too. And also we're going to do a loving yourself mindset session. So there's lots of value. So who do you know in Gympie? Invite them along to the centre. It's going to be great. Plus we've got Irene and Con with their great results and stories and experience, and the way they banter together. They're always highly entertaining. Yes, you're highly entertaining. Everyone loves you, and when you haven't come, people miss you. They're always wanting to see more of you. So aging is a fact of life. Looking your age is not, and apparently acting your age isn't either. So which is really good. So please come along. That's our Let's Go. And then what's coming up next? When is your local STS training? Whether you're overseas, because I know some people listen to the recording that aren't in these countries, what STS training is going on in your state or your country that you can get to, or who's in your team that you need to let know what STSs are coming up. We have July the 20th, we have the Success Training Seminar in Brisbane with special guest Phil Hayden. I was actually able to pin him down at the extravaganza, and then we saw him in the foyer, didn't we, Lindy? And he did a really amazing quick video for us on why you should travel to an event. I think he did a great job, and he was very relatable and humble. August the 3rd, we've got our Let's Go. So I was kind of projecting a little bit further here. For Gympie, we'll have President's Team member Shondell Bell as our special guest for August, and many more things lined up for the rest of the year. And I can't keep a secret.
I know, be quiet.
Can I also interrupt you there and just let you know, if people are looking to attend the Sydney STSs, the format is completely changed. They're actually starting at 11 in the morning and going through to 3:30 in the afternoon. and then some sort of party for a few hours afterwards, which might make it very challenging for people who are coming out from Orange and way out bush. Whether that will work well or not, we don't know, but it's a format they're now changing too. So
sometimes that will happen, formats will change, and then they will trial it and see, and if it doesn't work, like, you know, they'll adjust it too. So sometimes those things do happen. So that's why an even better reason to start your kickoffs in your local area.
Yep.
And then everyone's gunning for this event. I know the World Team Retreat in Manly, Sydney, with Mark and Jill Addy, August 13th to 15th. I've seen some of the schedules coming up. It looks pretty fantastic. A great weekend of training, and yeah, I'm really, really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm going to work really hard this month because
Do it.
You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
It's achievable.
Just go for
absolutely
it. Your business will grow anyway just by going for it.
true.
You've only got to do a 10,000 volume point month. It's not a
That's
problem.
right. That's what I'm going for.
It's not a problem. It's achievable.
I shook my hand with you on it, didn't I? Almost. So
It's achievable. It can be done.
So is there any more
I think the
slides?
next slide was actually just the
Oh, okay, yes. So remember, go on to your emails, and if you're not on the emails with Herbalife, make sure you contact them so you can be put onto it, and get that July newsletter out to all your clients and team. It's a really great support tool, and just keep promoting all your events and getting out there and talk to as many people as you can. Just do what you can do. Do something every day towards your growth of your business, and it's amazing what will start to happen. And also focus on your own product use and be the best customer you can be, because you know what, that kind of triggers everything out. And definitely keep doing your personal development. Doesn't have to be reading a book a week or anything. Might be a couple of pages, listening to something positive, whatever it is for you, because it's not just about reading it and listening to it, it's about putting it into practice for when challenging situations come up. That's when you know you've done your personal development or not. So I hope you enjoyed the call, everyone. I hope you got lots. I love that video. It was fantastic. This is recorded, so make sure you send it to any team members that weren't either able to get on due to whatever circumstances, and let them listen to it and then get their feedback. Get them to give you 3 things that they got out of it, okay?
Thanks very much.
Oh, well, I think we're
So what? You're always up.
cool. So did anyone have any questions or anything before we wrap up? You can click on stop share. And our lovely panel will come
Oh,
up.
look at that. Hey, you can see everybody.
Thank you, Mastermind Group, for being on the call. I hope you really enjoyed some of the photos and the things that were shared with us over that weekend. I really felt like it was quite special. And look, I didn't need to go to be fired up, because I was already fired up before we got there. But it gave me that bigger view and appreciation of what we have here in Australia, that we just need to get to work to help more people and be brave enough to talk to people. Sometimes we think, oh, should I, shouldn't I? Just do it, because you just might change their life, you know, just by reaching out to someone. And it can be scary, but you just got to be brave, okay?
Well, if you don't ask, you're never going to know. It's always going to be no if you don't ask.
Yeah.
So thank you for being our mastermind group. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate all your support. We're back into our regular trainings next week as well, so there'll be lots of sharing of good news. So I just hit it hard this week, because we want lots of good news next Monday, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So have a great night, everybody.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Cool. So you just press
Bye.
yes, end meeting. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. And meeting.
Yep.